in play in wireless security, we still have a little bit of a headache here. I can't encrypt the whole signal. This doesn't work. For wireless to happen, and we'll draw the canonical little tower, which is broadcasting, and then this is why I'm not an art major. The PC over here. We have a little bit of a headache. We can assume this 101010 stream is encrypted because we've done things the right way, but some pieces need to be left unencrypted. One of those is the header itself. Basically, for our wireless access point to be able to talk to stuff, some identification information, usually a MAC, what's called a MAC address, which is unique to each device, and a few other things have to be left open, because it's the only way this guy knows that he's the one who's the intended target. Some other, what's called header or data link layer information has to be visible. Sometimes you also hear this called a frame. Information has to be visible because it's part of the basic transmission system. I can't encrypt that without risking, well, actually without killing my ability to talk to another specific device. This is part of that wrinkle of when I use Wi-Fi, I'm giving up a little bit of privacy all the time, because it's time for him to make a reappearance. If our snooper is listening, the duck is back. Yes, he's just awesome that way. If our duck with the laptop is once again listening, duck, with laptop can have his ears open, listening for anything that's coming out, and that will allow him to pick up the fact that, hey, this particular MAC address is in transit, and by the way, there's usually two of them. There has to be one for each device in the picture, so to speak. He can be listening. The convention is that just like with hub-based Ethernet, you don't listen for a MAC address that's not yours. However, that is a convention. By virtue of having an antenna, so put an antenna on him, that can hear what's going on, our friend the duck can, sorry, bad jokes never die with me. Our friend the duck is entirely empowered to hear everything in transit. So, because we're broadcasting, the duck can hear everything. This reality does not go away. My other hand here. So you can identify who's talking in the neighborhood by virtue of what MAC addresses are visible. That does tell you a few things. Because of the way MAC addresses are issued, that tells you who made the equipment and some kind of serial number information. Not much more, but it's enough to say, okay, if you're looking at a crowd of people, okay, I'm looking for the laptop that's going to have an Intel Wi-Fi card in it, as opposed to the one that has a Motorola one. That can be determined in and of itself right there. That's broadcast, period. It's there, you can't help it, it's a thing. So you, again, this is a kind of a rehash. The fact of communication is visible, along with some sort of administrative information about making it happen. I can't get rid of that. If I get rid of that, I lose Wi-Fi. I lose, in fact, pretty much any Ethernet-y flavored or networking flavored kind of thing that requires the ability to identify a particular host, because at some level I must expose I must provide as open the fact of who am I talking to if I have more than one device in the vicinity. Otherwise, everybody has to open every packet and decide, oh, this one's for me or it's not. This is computationally and cryptographically expensive, awkward, and tedious, so we tend not to do it. But this is our reality. This is part of the plumbing, and this is where things also get a little interesting. Because I can't have that fact of communication, let's pull out the other color here, I can, if I so desire, if I'm the duck, I can hit record. I have the ability to say, well, even if I can't understand all of the packets because encryption's going on, I still have the ability to record them. The fact of communication, the data in transit, is still there even though it's obscured. This means that our friend the duck, who's playing the role of a black hat in security terms, can say, well, all right, I can't see this right now. Maybe I don't have enough power. Maybe I don't have enough expertise right here on my laptop, or I don't want to run the risk of going, woohoo, I got it in the middle of a crowded public space. The duck is, as our exemplar hacker, entirely empowered to say, okay, I'm going to take this home, this recorded set of information, and analyze it. Which could involve doing a brute force attack on it. It could involve more targeted things. So the nuanced versions of this can start playing with things like birthdays, all of the stuff that makes passwords so eminently fun to mess with. When you have a little bit of information about your target, you can start mucking about with other classic and favorite movies, stuff that maybe you didn't mean for somebody to know about you anyway, but guess what? If they just open your Netflix subscription DVDs, they can probably make some guesses about. Yes, by the way, still the most common way to have a security compromise is dumpster diving, actually digging through garbage. So when you add in secondary techniques to breaking a password, that data in transit then becomes, okay, it was said. It's sort of like a bad internet forum post. It might just live forever because somebody's got a record of it. And once that happens, you don't know where it's going, you don't know who's got it, you don't know what their intent might be, and oh yeah, you don't know that it might even happen. This is a little less true with a wired connection. Somebody has to work a bit harder usually to get at the physical cabling to do this kind of attack on information that's traveling, in stuff that's buried in the wall. So this is a thing. It is reason for concern, and it also means that your potential attacker or potential hacker is not bound by what they can physically carry. They are only bound by what can be put physically near you to do the recording, which is itself kind of a problem. You don't know that they might have, a crazy, massively parallel supercomputer running around, in their basement or whatever. Probably unlikely, unless they're a nation state. But they might have some significant assets at their disposal. And here's the additional bad news. The kind of keying used in Wi-Fi, like many, many other shared secret systems, this is what computer science specialists in things like high-performance computing call embarrassingly parallel, which means it's really easy to use lots of smaller computers to attack chunks of the key space. This is the equivalent of saying, okay, I'm going to take the dictionary, I'm going to slice it into, say 26 pieces, one for each letter of the alphabet, and pass that out to 26 different computers, and each of them is going to try all the words. This is actually, perhaps unsurprisingly, called a dictionary attack, the use of common words and phrases, and is one of the most popular ways to break into not particularly sophisticated password regimes. This is why you get told this is where this becomes a little bit of an encryption class, please use letters and numbers, or that kind of thing. Why you can't just give it, say, if you're a Cubs fan, the GOAT as a password. That's too easy. It's an English language word or phrase, it's predictable, and it keeps a tighter key space available for somebody determined to do this brute force thing, which is a problem that we worry about. So I guess the moral of the story is beware ducks with supercomputers, or make sure you put good passwords, especially when we're doing Wi-Fi, because it could be a duck, it could be your neighbor determined to buy some stuff on your credit card with some Christmas shopping to do, could be anything. It's just a potential headache, and we want to avoid it. Okay, thank you very much, and have a good day.